Welcome. Today's video is going to be an update on my Project Pan. I do these every 2 months, so I have a significant number of goals reached, either products finished or usage goals reached. Actually, I just counted and it's 30. 30 goals reached. So that is immense. I'm going to get into it right now because I'm still bringing in products at the end and I'm not breaking up this video into two. Hi, it's me interrupting to let you know that this video was actually recorded at the end of August of this year. So I believe August 30th. It's just that, as you can see, I've moved and I had to pack, put everything away, move, unpack, get settled in, and did not get an opportunity to edit. And then I lost the footage. And now I've recovered the footage. So I hope you enjoyed this video, just letting you know that it is a little bit late in editing, but all of this was actually filmed at the end of August, beginning of September. I hope you enjoy. I'm going to start with the items I used up, and I'm going to just start with the most exciting product, and it is the Fenty Beauty Matchsticks in the shade Amber. And not only did I use it up, I dug into it. Completely by accident. Apparently the product was like I was able to pull it out and I was like, oh no, I can't now put it back in. So what I did is after I took it out, I smooshed it down into this empty Urban Decay Beach Bronzer Compact that I had. And as you can see, it still has some remnants of it because I didn't clean it because I wanted you to see it, but it's completely gone. Between these two, this is done. And I had this from the very beginning. When I first introduced it at the very first video, which was the introduction, it had been used like 3 times. So I'm done. I'm going to continue with the products that were a challenge for me. And the next one is the IT Cosmetics Je ne sais quoi Rose Lip Balm. And it is completely finished. It's completely rolled up. And I didn't dig into this one because I don't love it enough to, but this is done. This is one of those pH changing lip balms, and those are not my favorites. This is not as bad as some of them, so it was still a little bit hydrating, but usually those dry out my lips, and this was not my favorite, but it is completed. The next item I want to talk about is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter, and it's completed. It's completed. Look at that. I mean, you must have guessed because it's like early on in the video, but it is completed. It's fully done. I'm so excited. I use this all over my face because that's how I like to use it. I like to use it as a finishing powder. I also did use it on my chest at some point because I was wearing a dress that showed a little more décolletage. So it was lovely that way. This is my second one finished. I will buy this again. It's a really great product for all of, I think, $5. Everybody else has raised their prices, but this one is, I think, still $5. And as I said, this is my second one and I will buy it again. The problem is that the package always breaks. Why? But it's cheap, so that's why. I also completely finished this Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator in Fair. It looks like there's some product at the bottom, but there really isn't. I mean, I can like look down in it, but like there's nothing in it. Of course, now I'm going to try to no. Yeah, it's like sputtering out. So at least it didn't betray me, but this is done. This is done. Continuing with base products, I also finished this IT Cosmetics Perfect Lighting Radiant Touch Magic Wand in Radiant Neutral. It's very hard to open. It just sticks at some point. At this point, there's like nothing coming. Of course, now it has like the tiniest bit coming out, but not enough really to do anything. They've discontinued this. I've had it that long. They literally sent this to me years ago when they first launched it, and I've had it forever. So it's done. And just to be clear, I barely used it in those years. So this was like either brand new or you used like a single time or maybe 2 times just to make sure that it was still like working well. This one was also a real challenge, and it was the Strivecting Multi-Action Super C Dark Circle Brightening Eye Serum. I will say this, there's a ton of product in here. I just didn't need that product. It's an under eye brightening serum and I don't have under eye circles, but also even if I did, under eye circles, if they are not just from poor sleep, if they're genetic, and the only way to fix that is through filler, I believe. So this wasn't really going to do anything for me. It was an okay serum. I would just use it as an under eye vitamin C serum, but I'm not going to be purchasing this, and I think this one's expensive, but I use it. Oh, let me prove to you that there's nothing left. Oh, of course it's squirting something, but that's it. That was it. But this is done. I also finished these 2 mascaras. This is the Tarte Tartelette mascara. I love this one. I already have a backup. Actually, I opened the backup, so it's already in use. This is really heavy packaging now that I think about it. I mean, like, it's really heavy. I could just hit someone with it. I also finished the Lash Paradise by L'Oreal. This is not my favorite. It is really difficult to remove. It acts almost like a waterproof mascara. So if you like waterproof mascara, this is for you. If you don't like waterproof mascara, this is a very difficult product to remove. I far prefer the tubing mascaras like the Tarte Tartelette. So I will not repurchase this, even though I actually have one that I've opened in my collection right now, just because I want to just keep using it. And then I also have this one open, but these are both done. I also finished the Cover FX Click Stick. Which side was it? I can't remember. I think it was Gold Dust that I had. Well, that fell. It's okay. So this is the one that I had. Obviously, you can't see it. What I had done was I'd actually emptied it into this jar last time, and it is all cleaned out and completed, as you can see. So this counts as an empty for me. By the way, if I'm going fast, it's because I have a lot of product to cover, and I really have to introduce some more products too. So the next item I finished is the Cover FX High Performing Setting Spray. This is completely gone. And also, if you remember, I had actually decanted it into this not Pat McGrath, this Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray bottle, because I had emptied it out of the setting spray that was in there. So these are both now completed. As you can see, there's like not a thing in there. Does it even spray anything? Of course, one last mist. Oh, yeah. But anyway, this is completed. I am so glad. Joy. The next item I completed is the Kylie Jenner lip liner in Cocoa K. It actually at the end, as I was sharpening, it just came out but there was like just a smidgen left. I don't remember how many times I used it, but I think I used it over 30 times by the time this was over, just from the last update. So this is completed. I also finished this ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in Birthday Cake. As you can see, it is completely done. So beautiful. This was a rose gold. This was beautiful. I had to rehydrate the living daylights out of it, but it was lovely. And I completed the Super Shock Shadow in As You Wave. Actually, what I'd originally intended was just to use it an additional 10 times. I used that and I really loved the look, so I completed it. I completed it like a few days ago, actually. Wasn't intentional, but it's done, so I might as well show it to you. So that's 2 Super Shock Shadows that I've completed from new this year, and I mean, I think that's impressive. I think that's impressive. That's 2 of them, and these are both older in my collection. I also completed the Osea Advanced Perfection Cream. I mean, look at that. Oh, look at that. It is all clean. This was a cream that I didn't hate. It was lovely when it wasn't stiff, and when it was colder outside, it was a little bit more stiff. But it's glass and I am moving. I'm actually packing. That's why my nails look like so bad. I am packing right now, and this is just such a heavy glass jar. But it was lovely. I just didn't really need this, and it's not worth $100 to me. I also finished the Body Shop Pink Grapefruit body butter. What's funny is I had this body butter for years, and it took this project for me to finish up. I really appreciate Project Pans for that. Apparently I'm very goal motivated, and this was a goal, and I finished it. It is gone. I love it, but it is gone. It's a little bit too heavy for me these days, I would say. Now let's talk about the items I actually met the goals on, but were not finished. Let's start with base products. The first one is this Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator in Light. So this is a little bit deeper than the shade I finished up, but this is too deep for me. I wanted to use it 10 times, and I did use it 10 times. I have no idea where it's located. I can't even shine a light into it and actually see it. I'm not sure that I will be keeping this. I did buy one of those LA Girls like lightning product, lightning pigment, like the white pigment. I may or may not keep it because it is a beautiful product, but it is just too deep for me. But I did meet my goal on it, so yay. The next item I met my goal on is this IT Cosmetics CC Plus Nude Glow in Fairlight. Usually the shade would be perfect for me in the summer. However, this line tends to oxidize on me. I don't know why, but it does, and it oxidizes a little bit too deep. So I do need to mix this with a lighter version of this. Actually, I mix it with the regular CC Plus in Fair, and I might as well update you on that here. I've used it 10 times. I think I've used it more than 10 times because that is where I started when I introduced it last during the last update, so at the beginning of July, and this is where we're at now at the end of August. I do think I'm going to keep this one in the project though, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it later when I talk about another one of these that I have in the project. But this one is lovely. It is definitely deeper than I like using, but I'm gonna keep this one for sure because I do like the product. The next item that I reached my goal on is the Jouer Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer. This is a super high coverage concealer. And while I do love it, I used it 11 out of the 10 times I was supposed to use it. The whole point of introducing it into this project was for me to see whether it was something that was worth keeping in the project or keeping in my collection. And I would say no, not because the product is bad. The product is actually phenomenal, but it is very high coverage, and I don't really need quite that much high coverage around my under eyes. But more importantly, in this case, I do have some fine lines. I think I have like 2 or 3 fine lines here and 2 or 3 on this side. I don't remember how many, 1 to 2 to 3. I don't care. It doesn't matter. They're there, and this settles in that for me. And so as a result, it's not worth it because I have the Natasha Denona new one that doesn't settle on me. So I'm going to pass this on to a friend while it's still good enough to use. The next product I've actually reached my goal on. Originally, I wanted to use up the Guerlain Meteorites, but I had a lot. I'd used it, but not that much and not in years. But originally, I wanted to use it up. However, I adjusted my goal to having just a single line. Can you see? Yeah, just a single layer on the bottom of this, and I've reached that. So I'm going to put this away, and maybe I'll pull it back into a project either next year or the year after that, but I am done with it right now. This is definitely a product where you get a lot for your money. Like, this does not take a lot in order for you to actually get the effect that you want. Moving on to eyes, I met my goal, which was to use 5 times this ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in Banana Daiquiri, and I actually have a pan in there. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to take photos, but I am moving, so I cannot guarantee that, but let me see if you can use that. I have a pan in there. This shade stains, and I have not decided whether I want to keep it or not yet. Nope, haven't decided yet. May or may not, I don't know. You'll see it in a declutter if I get rid of it. I also met my goal on this MAC limited edition bronzing powder in golden. I love this packaging. It is stunning. This is a significantly better powder bronzer than I thought it would be. Not because MAC products are bad, but because this is almost 8 or 9 years old. I don't remember. It is very, very old, and I had never used it. And I realized recently that I actually have a second one of this in this packaging. Holy, that's not good. Because I used this 20 times, which was my goal, and yes, I do see more of the side pan, or like the top of the metal right here, but I'm nowhere near getting to a point where I'm finished. There are 10 grams of bronzer in here. This is more of a summery shade for me, so I may or may not use it over the next couple of months, but I do like it. I'm keeping it. I also met my goal on this. You can no longer see it, but it used to say LYS. This is their limited edition higher standard satin matte cream blush in Unforgettable. This was just in like their holiday set, and it's a really lovely shade. Problem is the packaging is breaking. It's like, yeah, it's breaking. I'm gonna have to probably use this up sometime next summer. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, now that I've shown it to you, I've used it 30 times. Actually, I've used it 33 times. I kept using it because it's a very beautiful summer friendly shade. I also met my goal on this Urban Decay Game of Thrones limited edition, what was it, 24/7 Glide On pencil? Yeah, in Midnight King. It is a beautiful shimmery deep blue shade. I absolutely love it. I think this is going to actually be something that I use throughout winter, and I might keep it in the project. I'm not sure yet, but I might keep this in the project for another 10 uses. But that's actually what I wanted to do. I wanted to use it for 10 times, and I did use it 10 times. I also met my goal on this Pacifica eyeliner in the shade, was it lavender? I believe it's the lavender. You know, it doesn't have the name on it, but it is the lavender shade. I'm going to show that to you. Come on, let's show it to you. There you go. I wanted to use it 10 times, and I used it 10 times. This one's the harder one for me to use because it doesn't really show up on my waterline. It's where I like to use it. However, it is a lovely product. I'm going to keep it for next summer. I also met my goal on this Rare Beauty lip liner, what is the Kind Words matte lip liner in Talented. I think I wanted to use it. Yeah, I wanted to use it 10 times and I used it 11 times. That is the shade. It is a little bit too beige for me. I'm not sure if I want to keep it necessarily. I may, but haven't decided on that yet. I also met my goal on both of these Sephora lip liners. What is the full name? They're the Rouge Gel lip liners, and they're lovely, lovely lip liners. So this one is a cool toned one, and it's called Dress to the 90s. This is very appropriate for like right now, and I'm just swatching it. Let me show it to you. It's like that 90s grungy lip look. It's beautiful, and I wanted to use this 5 times, and I used it six times, I think. Yeah, 6 times. I only like to just line my lips a little bit with it. Nothing more than that. And I also use the shade Creme de la Creme, but this one 10 times. And this shade is an interesting shade. It is like a winter appropriate or like a fall appropriate coral. And the last one I met my goal on is this Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in, what was it? Anywhere Caffeine. And I think I sharpened it like twice, I believe. I love these pencils. They're really beautiful, but this one definitely is like very coffee, very much of a coffee shade. I prefer their other shade, which is Wherever Walnut, and while this is good, that one is a favorite. So those were the goals met, and now I'm gonna get into the progress. I know there's a lot. I'm gonna be rolling some products back in, so I'm gonna just cover that first. I'm gonna be rolling in the IT Cosmetics CC Plus in Fair back into the project for another 10 uses, mainly because I did not use at all, not even a single time, the IT Cosmetics oil-free matte in light. Not even a single time. I swear this was 0 on my list. So these are going to be used together. The next item I have progress on is this Laura Geller Spackle Makeup Primer in the original. I started right here at the beginning of July, and I'm right here. I could have probably used this a little bit more, but I use so many hydrating products before I use this that I don't really need this. This might be something that could be useful in the winter time. So the next one that I have progress on is this Ren Perfect Canvas, also a primer. It's a serum like primer. So this is where I started, and this is where I'm at. The next base product I have progress on is this Kosas Itty Bitty Mini Revealer Concealer in the shade 1.5C. This is the lightest shade that comes in this size. I just wanted to test out the product before I went and bought the full size. It's actually it's a pretty expensive concealer when you think about it, especially if it does go bad quickly. However, I do like this concealer a lot, and I will be picking it up during the Sephora holiday savings event. I've used this 6 times, and then it was really hard to get some product out. It is a little bit too deep for me when I'm not fake tanned, but it would be great for the rest of my face, not my under eye area. I have something else for my under eyes. However, so I was using it. It was hard to get product out, and I took out the stopper, and I thought until like right now, until I looked in, that I couldn't use this up before the end of the year, but I think I can. There isn't as much product remaining as you'd think. So the way I'm going to go about it is I've already used it 6 times between the last update and now. And I'm going to aim to use this an additional 10 times, and we'll see where I'm at that point. So I'm setting goals on it, like usage goals on it, because I do really well with usage goals. So 10 times for this. Let's move on to the bronzers. The only bronzer that actually got a lot of progress on it is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Sunkissed Glow Bronzer in 2 medium. And this is what it looks like. I had this in for 30 uses. I originally said 20 uses, and then I moved it to 30 uses, but I used it 20 times. And I think it's a beautiful bronzer. It is beautiful. It is a little bit deeper. I am wearing it today, and it works beautifully. However, I realized that this bronzer was never something I intended to use up, but the next 2 products were. So I'm going to make the executive decision to roll this one out. I had originally intended to use it 20 times. I did use it 20 times. So this is completed. And the reason I have to do that is because I have 2 of these Merit Bronze Bombs, and these are Clean Beauty. Clean Beauty goes bad faster. So the problem is this is Quince, their lightest shade, and you can still visibly see product above that little line. And just so we're clear, these are, I believe, these are 12.5 grams of product each, and I do intend to use these up. So this is how much product I still have in just one of them. That is a significant amount of product. So I do intend to use these up, and this is their lightest shade. So at least there's still time to use this because this will be ideal in the winter. And I've had these for a year, and Merit Beauty is a clean beauty brand, whatever that actually means. But I also have clay, and clay is also slightly visible above the plastic. And so, and this is a shade that I can use right now because it is a little bit deeper, and I have a lot of product with this too. So by making the executive decision to roll out the Charlotte Tilbury one, I'm going to also further make the executive decision that I'm going to concentrate on clay between now and the next update, and then on quince between the next update and the end of the project, which will be at the end of the year. So these two are priorities right now. Moving on, let's move on to blush. I only have a single blush product, and it's actually something that started out as a lipstick, and it is this little one. It's no longer the Edward Best one, it's just whatever's in there. And the lipstick that it started out being is Pat McGrath one. And just so we're clear, last time I showed this, there was pan in there. You would expect that I would be finished with this, but at some point I did some concocting. I really should stop doing that. And I added something else into it. So now I have a lot more product. It is a little bit easier to use. The shade is a little bit more warm toned because the original one was really too cool toned. So the goal is still to finish this. This is not the only cream blush I'm using. This is also not going to be the only cream blush in this project because I will be introducing a whole bunch of them. But this is something that I intend to use up between now and the end of the year. There's plenty of time for that. And the next product in this project is this Chanel Camellia de Chanel highlighter. And it is this beautiful one that looks like a camellia. I believe I have this in for 30 uses, but I've only used it 5 times. That's perfectly fine. I obviously am wearing it today. It is beautiful. I've had this in my collection forever, and I originally thought it was too shimmery, but I think that was just an overspray. And now it's a beautiful, beautiful highlighter that is just slightly, you know what it is? It's a glow from within highlighter. I love it, so I have no problem keeping it. Let's get into the lip product, and my most failed attempt at panning any lip products is this Kat Von D, because this isn't even the KVD. This is the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in a Go-Go, everlasting liquid lipstick in a Go-Go. I was supposed to use it 5 times. I used it a single time. I'm going to roll it out of the project because I am no longer leaning towards the shade for the rest of the season, but this is a favorite shade of mine, so I'm going to keep it in my collection. Moving on to the Chanel lipstick. This is their Rouge Coco Shine 79 Saga. They no longer make these, and I have very little left, really. There wasn't much to begin with. I set myself a goal of using it 20 times during this update period, and I only used it 14 times. I'm going to set another goal to use it 20 times between now and the next update. I am wearing it today. Maybe I should touch it up a little bit. So I used it 15 times between now and then, and I'm going to reset that to 0 and start again. Moving on to Pat McGrath lipsticks. This is the shade Sextrology. I love this shade, but for some reason I'm not really using it very much. I don't have a lot of it. Maybe I'm inadvertently being precious with it. I don't know when I'll use it, hopefully by the end of this year, but I've used it 7 times. I'm going to set a goal, a number goal on this as well, and it's also going to be to use this 20 times between now and the next update. The next Pat McGrath lipstick is this one. This is the Blitz Trance lipstick in Skin Sane, and I used it a single time, which is not good. I'm not going to finish anything like that, but I was working on a lot of products, and I have used up a lot of products. However, for something that I've used a single time, it is missing a big chunk at the end because my 6-year-old niece discovered it. She loves makeup, but what she didn't discover is that you have to roll this down first. So she put the cap back on, and it got smooshed, but this was a lovely learning experience for her. And then we experiment with it. She was rolling up, rolling down, rolling up, rolling down. So now she knows to roll down the lipstick. So you know what? Worth it. And I'm gonna set a goal to use this 10 times because I have a lot of other lipsticks, and I really don't want to. Actually, no, I'm gonna do it 20 times. 20 times across all the lipsticks. When it comes to this Natasha Denona lip gloss in Daphne, I don't even know. I mean, I had marked it, and that mark has already gone. I don't know where it is. I think I marked it somewhere here. It's gone. I don't know where it is. But more importantly, I only used it 4 times. It is a lovely shade, but I was leaning more towards peaches during this time. So I'm going to keep it in. I'm going to try to use this 20 times as well. Moving on with the lip products, the lipstick in the Surratt lipstick that I have in Rubis, I've used it 0 times. It's the red one. I'm not gonna click it up because once you click it up, you can't click down. This is a very cool toned red. This is it. I'm gonna show you lip liners now. This is it, and I lean towards this in the wintry months anyway, so I'm going to work on this more in the winter, but I'm not gonna set any goals on that between now and the next update. I also have 2 red lip pencils. They're both from, no, they're not both. This one is from Makeup Forever. This is their Aqua Lips in shade 8C. Used it a single time. This one is the Urban Decay in 714. This is warm toned. Used it a single time. Let's move on to the eye product. Oh my god, my Viseart little 6-pan palette. It's just this one, not these. This one I used, I think, only 6 times. Yeah, 6 times. I'm thinking that it's just the colors are really fall vibey to me, so I'm not really feeling them. I'm going to keep this in, and hopefully I can use this 10 times between now and the next update. If I can't even reach 10 times between now and the next update, I'm going to part with it and give it to someone who will actually love it. Next eyeshadow palette is this Pat McGrath X Bridgerton one. This is, I believe, the first one that they came out with. My goal was to use this 10 times, and I've not even reached that goal yet. I think I only used it 4 times between last update and this one, but my total usage on this is 6 times for now. I think my issue with this, that except for the blue one right here, everything else is actually more fall appropriate, so I'm going to try to knock those 4 uses out between now and the next update, because that's fall. So fingers and toes crossed on that. And the final palette I have in this project is this Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette. This is my favorite palette of hers. I haven't gotten the I Need a Nude yet because it's sold out, and I want to see it in person before I keep purchasing things, especially if I'm moving. I don't want to lug something around. I've used this a total of 6 times out of the 10 I've had it in this project. I still love it, still adore it. Let's move on to eyeliners. The first one I want to mention is the Urban Decay Freak. It's a minty color, but it wasn't really coming off on the skin very well, and it was just really problematic to use. I think I used it a single time, and then my niece discovered it, and she's 6. She loved it. I gave it to her. I wasn't using it anyway. She was overjoyed, so that is out of my collection, thankfully, because I didn't use it. And I thought I was going to toss it in this update anyway. Another item I didn't use at all is this Urban Decay 24/7 eyeliner in Whiskey. Not even a single time. This is a more brownish, I'm sorry, it's a more reddish brown. It's a warm toned brown. Doesn't look very good in my waterline. At least it didn't during the summer. So I'm going to keep it in, see if I can use it all over the eye or something like to smoke out. Otherwise, it's going before the end of the year. I also used these 2 eyeliners from Milani, and I believe I used this golden one about 5 times and this bronze one like twice. They're not my favorite. I would say the golden one is beautiful when you swatch it on the skin, but you know what? For some reason, this shade just does not work very well for me, and the whole point of putting this in this project was to see if this was something that I wanted to move with. Not that it's going to take a lot of weight, but why move with something that is not necessary to move with? And the second one, the bronze one, also beautiful, but of course I'm running out of space. Also beautiful, but it is not really something that I am going for. I think I used this like 1 to 2 times. I don't even remember. So I think I'm actually going to give both of these to my friend as well. So these are out of this project and out of my collection. I think she'll enjoy them a lot more, and I'd rather somebody enjoy them than me finish a product just for the sake of saying I finished it. When it comes to this 24/7 eyeliner in Lucky, I don't believe I used it even once. This is a coppery shade. I love copper, so I'm not gifting this to anybody or giving this to anybody. I was just waiting for the fall to start, so I'm going to use this for the fall. However, I do want to give myself a usage goal on it, and my usage goal is going to be 5, actually. I'm going to do 5 because if I didn't use it at all between when I introduced it to now, I'm not going to suddenly be able to use it 10 times. And the last item when it comes to eyeliners is this Il Makiage one in Batman. It is just literally a black eyeliner. It is beautiful, wearing it in my waterline. Nothing really to say about it. I'm sorry, there's just that much. I think I've had to sharpen it. Let's do it here. I think I've had to sharpen it 2 or 3 times already because I do actually like to use it a lot, and I'm going to probably use it a lot more now. in the fall and the winter time. But that is, oh no, no, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. The next one is exciting for me because I met the mini goal that I had set for myself, and it is this Urban Decay Double Down Brow, and I used half of what I left last time. So all I have left is another third before the end of this year. So basically I'm using them in thirds. I think about a third every single update. So I think I'll be able to finish this before the next update. I tried using this shade right here, and it's just too deep and it makes me look very angry even on the outer half of my brows. It's just too much, so I'm not going to really mess with that. Once or twice I tried using it as a liner, and it's just too soft for that. And then also once I used it as an all over base and put another shadow over it. I might try it once or twice like that, but really I'm going to call this done once I finish whatever is in this well right here, and that should be by the next update. So my goal, my mini goal on that is to finish this by the next update. And moving on to the few remaining products. So this product, I have no idea. This is a Japanese brand. I think it's called Ishizawa Lab. It's a urea moisture lotion. The only amount that I have left is whatever is here. I already finished whatever I had in like a decanting bottle. I have something else in there right now. But anyway, this is where I'm at. I don't really love this product very much. I don't find it very moisturizing. I'm going to try to finish this, but I'm not going to lug this bottle around to my next destination just to show you. So I'm going to actually roll this out and finish this on my own. So that one is out. And additionally, I am using this Saint Tropez Self-Tan Purity Natural Glowing Skin Bronzing Water Face Mist. I started here last time and I am right here. So I started where this is right here, and I've moved down like half an inch. I'm gonna keep this in, but I don't think I'm going to finish this before my move, probably not before the next update. However, I might be able to finish this by the end of this year. So the goal on this is to just finish this by the end of this year, because I do enjoy that. I'm putting that on the wrong side. And finally, on the items that I'm updating you on, oh my god, this video is gonna be so long. Is this Caviar Anti-Aging Smoothing Hydrogelé. I wanted to reach this point, but I didn't. Last time I was here, I am here right now, so I've moved up maybe like half a centimeter. Not very much. I haven't really needed to use this because I started using a product that gives a lot of hydration to my hair, but I'm going to just try to use this before the end of this year. I might not be able to, actually, now that I think about it. There's a lot more product remaining than I should have by this point. However, I'm going to set a mini goal, and I'm going to try to reach this glittery line here anyway before the next update. So we'll see how that goes. Technically, I have no business introducing anything else into the project, but I will because I want to work on some products, and I've been realizing that I am prioritizing my Project Pan products over these, so here I am introducing them. The next product is something I just bought. It is just released, and it is the Natasha Denona Mini Starlet palette. I've had it in my collection for 2 weeks now, maybe 3, and I've used it a single time. So I want to use every eyeshadow in this 5 times between now and the end of this year. So that should be at least a total of 25 uses. Or, you know, I'll create multiple looks, but I've used it a single time. It is beautiful. I should be using it more. These are $27. It's not cheap. The next eyeshadow palette I'm introducing is, yes, yet another eyeshadow palette, is actually something I found at Marshall's recently, and it is the Pat McGrath Labs eyeshadow palette in the bronze. This is from the holiday collection last year, so that means that it's at least a year old from production, which means that I should probably be using it. And I did find it at Marshall's. It was in perfectly fine condition, and this is what it looks like. It is absolutely beautiful. I think it's going to be perfect for the season, and I want to reach for this palette 10 times. However I reach for it, I just want to get some use out of it because it's a lovely palette. Because you probably anticipate this, I'm just gonna get to it right now. I'm introducing more lip colors, and I know it's wild based on my numbers there, but let's just roll with it. Moving on, another lip product I want to introduce because it is more fall appropriate. It is this little itty bitty Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm in Brown Sugar. This is a gorgeous shade, and let me show you what that looks like. That just does not look okay. That's separating, so that's actually probably why I need to be using this up. So it's a little bit more of a deep shade. It is a little bit harder for me to use in the summer, obviously, but this was part of their holiday collection last year, which means that I've had it for about a year, and I really want to use this maybe like, 20 times. I think this will be something that I can use because it's more of a lip balm than anything else. So I'm going to use that. But also, because this is also a lip balm, I want to use this Super Goop, what is this called? Broad Spectrum Sunscreen SPF 30 PA 3 pluses. This is their just like sunscreen lip balm. I don't really love it, but I just bought it recently and I have a ton of it still. Can't even see it. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it better against something dark. I just want to try and use this at least once a day. So I am going to set a goal on it because, again, goals are important for me. So I'm going to try to use this 60 times because there are about 60 days left between now. Okay, I'm never going to reach 60 times. Let's say 40 times. I'm going to try to use this 40 times because I think that's a little bit more realistic for me. Moving on, I also want to use this a little bit more. This is the Pat McGrath Labs. It's a liquid lipstick. What is it? Oh no, it's a Liquid Lust Legendary Wear in Divine Rose. And I've only used it a single time, but I've owned it for a few months. And this is a very fall appropriate shade, which is why I should probably just swatch that. It's a very fall appropriate shade for me. That's what that looks like. So I really want to get some actual usage on it during the fall. And if I don't put it in this project, I will not. I will be concentrating on the other products. So I want to use this a total of like 10 times between now and the end of this year. I think that's reasonable. Moving on, when it comes to lip pencil, I am introducing, this is not a reintroduction, this is a new one because this is the Wherever Walnut shade, and I want to, I've used this quite a lot, but I have a backup of this because when I bought it last year during the Sephora Holiday Savings event, I loved it so much that literally I applied it to my lips, turned to my boyfriend, I was like, do you like this? He said yes. I'm like, I said I like it too. I bought myself a backup. And because I thought I was going to use it up that quickly. I don't buy backups otherwise. So I'm going to try and finish half of this. I just want to reach a point where I'm no longer able to see the bottom R on the Makeup Forever. So that's going to be a toughie, but I do like this and I'm going to try to aim for that. That is a more fall appropriate shade. And let's move on to complexion products. I'm going to introduce the NARS light reflecting foundation. I have them in 2 shades, and the reason I have them in 2 shades is because the shade I'm actually working on is this one right here. So this is Patagonia and this is Mont Blanc. Mont Blanc is my perfect shade for the winter, and Patagonia is a mismatched shade to me. This is too dark for me even when I'm at my deepest tan in the middle of summer. Fake tan or not, this is something that just does not suit me. I know that in the viewfinder and on the camera it might show as suiting me, but it does not. So I actually have to mix the two. So what I'm going to try to do, I shook this up accidentally, but I'm in the middle of the A on this, and I would like to either reach the middle of the R or the top of the S up here. I'm going to try and work on that. I'm going to do my best to do that. At this point, I'm going to try to set myself like a 20 use. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set myself a 20 use goal on this because I think that it's probably going to be the best way to go about it. Another base product I want to bring in is actually the L'Oreal True Match foundation in N3. I love that they have the packaging updated now with the pump. Love that. I've already been using the shades N1 and N2. Love both of those. Fantastic. This is in the shade N3, which is more appropriate for me right now. I will not be able to pull this off in any way, shape, or form in the middle of winter because it just will look off, and it will take a lot of upkeep with the fake tanning for me to be able to pull this off. So I just want to use this 10 times. And the next product I want to introduce is this Rare Beauty setting powder. She doesn't have the full name of it on the back, but this is in the shade Light, and I am where are you? I am right here. I marked the packaging right here, and I want to use this up between now and the end of this year. I think that's going to be nice. I bought this last year, and I don't want to have like a pile of powders piling up because that's actually what it's turning out to be doing for me, and I don't enjoy that. I know this was a lot. I know I have a lot of products in the project. I know most people don't have this many products in their project, but they also do more projects. It's a lot easier for me to keep track of my project items like this so that they're like in the forefront. I don't have to worry about what goals are and what items. And it's working because I'm making so much progress. I mean, I rolled out more than 30 products just in this video alone. So I will see you during my next update, which is going to be in 2 months when it comes to this project plan, but otherwise I will see you in my next video, which should be coming up soon. Bye. Have a great day.